Guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution Tarot, and I'm here today to bring you a monthly message for the sign of Capricorn for January 2023. I just wanted to bring this to you guys first off and say happy birthday for all of you who celebrate this month. If your birthday was last month, happy belated birthday. I hope that your year is off to a wonderful and great start, that you're accomplishing the goals that you set forward, and if New Year's resolutions weren't your thing, that's totally okay. We can still go about being the best that we can be in our everyday without having to set so-called resolutions. But what I heard is, and what I think is important to do, is focus on your goals. What are those things that are important to you, and how can you take steps day to day to create momentum towards accomplishing those goals? So before I get started, I'm just going to take a moment to call on Spirit. I'm going to ask Archangel Metatron, Archangel Michael, and Archangel Gabriel to join us. I'm going to ask them to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you who would ask for it. I'm also going to ask my team of light as well to join us, and any of your spirit guides that would be here for the highest good as well to join us, again, to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you who would ask for it, as well as to use me as the clearest channel possible, delivering messages that are for the farthest reaching, but for the highest good of all of us, okay? So I just want to remind you as well, it's been a while since I did these readings, but no matter what messages come through, it's still up to you and your active free will, your grassroots evolution, how you go about making the changes in your world that you'd like to see. And to me, this is personal freedom. It's personal power because it's something that no one else can do. It's at the tips of our fingers, the soles of our feet. So use this power wisely. And before, last thing, I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. For all my subscribers, thank you guys for being here. You mean the world. And if you're new and you like this message and you'd like to see more, please hit subscribe. I'd love to have you along the journey. So I have the Messages of Life Oracle from Mario Duty, and we're going to get a little spiritual advice going forward for this month. But again, time is fluid, so just take it when it feels like it resonates for you. And if it's not for you, it's not for you, my friends. So we have two cards that have come out. One is Growing, and the other one is All That Is. I find life and love in all that is. I am aware of the presence of God in all things. Each tiny part of the universe is actually an expression of love. I raise my thoughts beyond the limits of my beliefs and convictions to open myself to the magic, the simplicity and beauty of all that is. I marvel at this splendor, which in reality is part of me. And growing. Each day I nourish myself with the light in order to grow in divinity. Through the messages that life brings me, I study my inner being to improve myself in the eyes of God. I am here to learn and grow, not materially, but at a soul level. I find my balance between material and spiritual worlds, and I free myself of inner conflicts. Right away, what I heard is, that saying that we are in this world but not of it, and we're here for a spiritual experience. We're here for learning lessons. We're here for a learning experience. And I think that it's just really important to know that as you go throughout your days, it is so important for us to find beauty in just everything around us, in all that is, in all this splendor. And this is a point, what I heard is, as well, is of making sure we make time for gratitude for all that is, being thankful that all that we have in our life and in our worlds, that we have access to this. There's a Pete the Cat book. I don't know how many of you guys have ever read it, but if you got smaller children, it's Pete the Cat and the cool blue magic sunglasses, right? He thinks he needs these glasses to see things in a whole new way. That's not true. But part of it was the sun is shining, the birds are singing, the sky's bright, I'm feeling all right. And this is one of these things that, did you wake up out of bed this morning? Were you able to get up? Did you breathe in that fresh air? All of these different things, right? Were you able to, or just take those first steps towards getting your morning coffee? This is something to be grateful for. And that throughout what happens in our worlds, even though I heard some things, they're not always going to be pleasant, these experiences, but we're growing through each thing that happens. And also what I heard is being self-aware. So on our ascension journey, on our growing process, some things we may need to look at, maybe ourselves. And this is where it's going to be like, well, if I refuse to look at myself and I refuse to see my part in the things that are hurting me or in the suffering of others, if I refuse to see that, how am I going to grow? Right? There's going to be some stunted growth there. So this is really important as well, as just knowing that that's part of life, is to see that we're growing on a soul level. And sometimes this means really tackling those hard things. Sometimes this is like small little stuff. but just being grateful each day that we have the opportunity to do this. So I want to look at the bottom of the deck, and we'll get into the cards more thoroughly. The bottom of the deck is hope, and it says, I cease to doubt my true nature. I no longer turn my thoughts towards the dark and negative parts inside me, the world of fear. I welcome life and hold on to my faith in God and God's love. I enter into the great school of life, steady in the face of all situations, because regardless of the darkness and fear, I know the light will return. There will always be infinite possibilities ahead of me. And also what I heard with this is the light returning. Our days are already starting to get longer in the northern hemisphere, right? The darkness, we are coming out of that into a time where it is much more light. And what I heard is, don't be deceived, because even though there's light out there, it's freaking cold, right? So the sunshine is going to come whether it's cold or not. And this is just like if we have been used to clinging to those darknesses or those fears, or we're getting a lot of anxiety, Spirit saying, hey, hold hope throughout this. I think as well as what I heard is holding hope for the possibilities of change as well, and knowing that if there's something in your world that you know you need to make the changes, you have the power and the capabilities to do that, not to doubt yourself. So I have the Wildwood Tarot, and as I was going, what are we going to talk about? What do we have to tell Capricorn? The Sun flew out here with the Four of Swords. Four of Swords looked like it was in reverse. I'm going to flip it out because I feel like if there's blockages that are going to come through, they're going to show themselves. So I feel like for some of you, you have overworked yourself potentially and not taken the rest that your body needs. And this is going to be one of those things where, hey, get your sleep, because like you tell your kids, you know what? You grow in your sleep, my friends. We need sleep. I think it's important as well to, what I heard is discuss some mental health, okay? Because we are not at our best when we are not sleeping. We're probably a little more irritable and cranky. Our tempers may not be where we want them to. Our focus may not be where we want it to be. And we're just running on empty, running ragged. So Spirit is like, hey, pay attention to that, Sun. Get yourself in it. As well as I think spiritually, this also has to do with you connecting to Source energy and to allow this into your heart space. To know that you are one with Source, you are one with God, you are one with the universe. And you are co-creating the world you'd like to see. That you have, what I heard is you have to be intentional on how you manifest things, intentional on how we go about living our lives. Because if we know, okay, if we choose to stay in the darkness, we're bringing a lot more opportunities for that darkness to grow, because that's what we're focusing on. If we're choosing gratitude and focusing on the things that we have to be grateful for, we're bringing that into us, because this is our mindset, and our mindset is super important on how we experience this world. So if you have not given yourself the rest that you deserve or that you need, listen to your body, my friends, because it's going to tell you what you need, and it's going to help you feel rejuvenated, energized, and be ready for success. So I'm going to get a little bit more here, Spirit. Can you tell me about the Sun of Life? Thank you. So you have the Seer underneath that, which right away I heard you have all the tools, and you know what you need to do to go about getting your goals met. You have the Eight of Bows in the reverse here with the Lovers in the reverse. Now, for some of you heard this could be partnership. And I also heard the words not yet. Three major arcanas, though. You have the Lovers, the High Priestess here with the Seer, and the Sun. And I think brighter days are ahead of you. It's just, you really need to focus on what I heard is caring connections, okay? So taking care of your connections, holding space within your connections. And what I heard is this doesn't have to mean fixing things. This is, for especially when we have people in our world, we are not responsible to fix anybody. We hold space. We can allow opportunities for growth. We can hold hope. This also means to me, what I heard is that there may be someone or situation that it's been stressful, okay? And it's impeding on your rest. It's impeding on the sleep you're getting. And with this Eight of Bows here as well, oftentimes like this, if we look at this is hearth fire, this is family, this is the people around you. It may be, and this is just what I'm hearing, you may need to take a step back a little bit just to get in touch with your inner self. And this Lovers card's in the reverse as well as, it could be a romantic relationship, it could be a Gemini as well. But what I feel like in this situation is it is important, again, I heard it's important to take a step back. So tell me about this Eight of Bows, please. You get the Page of Arrows in the reverse as well. What I heard, I think you need to get your mind clear, get things thought through. And as well, what I heard is that we want to make sure that this hearth fire is not raging out of control, where it's going to burn everybody or innocent bystanders on the way. Because if there's a relationship that's particularly troubled in your world, or that's causing unease, these are growing pains. It is not easy. And what I heard is, especially this coming out with the Seer, is, like I said earlier, sometimes this is going to mean that we have to take a really internal look on, again, just how are we participating in these situations. So with our Lovers here as well, this could be questions for ourselves on how am I portraying my love? What am I doing to make my partner or the people in my world feel loved? What do I need to feel loved? What is my love language? Are these needs being met? Am I meeting the needs of my partner or my family or my loved ones? And again, like I said, it is not your job to fulfill their worlds. You're a part of their world and you are your own autonomous being. But this is how we experience the world. So if we know that in our relationships we're holding back a little bit, that we're not giving ourselves freely, or that we are, what I heard is as well, there may be commitment issues as well. This could even be just stuff that you know it's not the other person. You know it's you, and you know it's an internal thing. It's an internal struggle. So we want to take a deep look in here and go, how can I bring more success to myself? How can I bring more peace to this situation? So there may need to be a conversation. What fell out here was the Two of Stones and challenge. There may need to be a conversation, and what I heard is it may challenge your way of thinking. And that, you know what, everyone's going to have different points of views on things. Everybody, you know, we're not all the same. That's what makes this lovely world go round, is there's a lot of changes and differences that happen. And for some of you, I heard like you may be around people that have changed and they're just not for you anymore. You have the Four of Bows with celebration, and that's important to know too, that we're not holding on to old situations just because we've loved them in the past, or because we've had friendships or relationships. If we're experiencing growing pains and we know we've outgrown this situation, it's time to move on, to flap those butterfly wings and to take part in your transformation. So if someone around you as well, like I said, is causing a lot of unrest, or what they're getting themselves into, or even like their communication with you as well, this could be it, because there's 2 fours here now too. If you're not feeling the jovial family friendship quality when you are around these people as well, what I heard is someone might be at a distance from you, but it is really important just again to step back. What I heard is maybe delay travel plans just a little bit until you have more understanding of what's going on, so that again, like, this is Pentacles and it's in the here. I also heard it's in the future, because this is going to be challenging the way not only that we think, but how we do things in this world. And whatever conversations or whatever internal thoughts that come out, they are definitely helping us to grow and find our success and happiness, and to find our place where we can just dance around this fire, without a care in the world, enjoying each other's company and camaraderie. And in this as well, like I said with this one, we don't want it to burn out of control. This one is burning, flying high, but that's okay because this is a joyous event. As well as I just want to say, and this is not for everyone, but what I heard is, my friends, these are women dancing in the fire. To me, this is for some of our, if any of you feel like you've had witch ancestors, this is reclaiming that fire. It's not going to burn us. It's not going to hurt us, and we will not be persecuted. We are going to thrive doing it our way. And for some of you, this is definitely making sure you follow your intuition, not allowing yourself to question it because of how other people may view you using this innate understanding and gift, because this is a gift from God, from the universe, from source, and we all have access to it, and it is part of our connection to the divine, is that intuition, just your inner knowing. So I'm going to bring here a message from the Wisdom of the Trees Oracle. Thank you. And you have the Montezuma Cypress. And let me grab the book for you and see what that says. Montezuma Cypress. So it's talking about solidity. I grow at the meeting point between the land and water, and I teach you that you need a balance between the material and spiritual worlds to survive. I am solid and strong, and I can give you that sense of solidity. So it says this is a swamp cypress, which also grows along the margins of lakes and rivers. Yet some of the oldest members of its species are now growing in arid conditions, suggesting that their land was once much wetter. One example is called El Arroyo del Tul. It grows in the grounds of the Church Santa Maria del Tul in Mexico, standing on what is thought to have been an ancient Aztec site of worship. The Aztecs used this tree resin to treat gout and skin conditions, and a decoction of its bark was drunk as a diuretic. So this says, are you feeling bogged down by worries or difficulties? Learn to focus your attention on whatever is most important to you or the situation, and don't dilute your power by concentrating on trivial matters. And that is actually a very wonderful card. Not to focus on the things that you cannot control, not to focus on the things that are, again, trivial, but to focus on the things that are bigger, that you can actually make a change with, and that are going to mean something to you, because if we're focusing too much on that trivial stuff, we're depleting our own resources, and our mental resources as well. So I have here the Sacred Self-Care, and I'm going to leave you with a parting message on how we can take the best care of ourselves over the next month. And the one you have here, Sync with the Moon. For what I heard with this is, it could be like if you are a woman and you menstruate, you're cycling with the moon. But I think this has a lot to do with, first off, sleep cycles as well. I know some people say they can't sleep on the full moon. Usually around the full moon, I'm so tired. Like, I'm done, because this is the time of completion. We have completed something. So this could be setting goals and intentions and working with the phases of the moon to use that moon energy, this inner goddess energy, to make the things we want to happen, but making sure that we're using it as a guide and stepping stones and actually putting the work in forward. And then being still. This comes to me with a lot of rest. For some of you, this may be meditation. For some of you, this may be that, maybe you know that you have trouble sleeping, but rather than staying up till midnight because you figure, oh, well, I'm just going to lay there. Have a bath. Do something that's going to just calm your mind, be still, and in this moment, in these moments, try and close your eyes and quiet your mind. And this may just be, again, repeating affirmations. I'm going to read you the affirmation, because this is a number 4. That's 3 4s. So a lot about creating your own stability. In stillness, I find my center and hear the messages that are meant for me. It also suggests a journal prompt. So if you're having trouble following your intuition, or if you're like, well, I know I'm tired, I know I feel depleted, but I just don't know what is depleting me or how I can change this, in a journal, sit there while you're still and say, what feelings came up? What feelings arise? And if you're getting anxiety that is stopping you from sleeping, get up. Write this shit out so that you've kind of cleared it out. Take a bath, or even like breathe in a few times, get a drink of water, and just again remind yourself that in stillness the answers come, and you have that connection again to the divine within that. So here's where it's going to be important, what I heard, and then we're going to end it, is to communicate even when it's challenging, to get out of the trauma response where we keep silence just to be peaceful, because it feels like you've kept something quiet, or you are not speaking up because you don't want the challenge that's going to come at you with this, or you don't want the turmoil. But there's also another word, drama. But in order for you to get this rest, in order for you to get this celebration, you gotta rock the boat a bit, okay? So finding that balance between where we're growing and we're able to speak our truth even if someone else doesn't like that, and this place where we're thwarting our growth just to keep the peace, because I do feel like that's really important. So syncing with the moon to accomplish your goals, and being still in this moment, knowing that you are going to be successful, and this is you. This energy is you, this success, this beautiful radiant being that you are, 2 feet on the ground, open heart, crown open to heaven. So that's the message I have. I really hope it resonates. I will talk to you soon, and I love you all. Mwah. Bye, guys.